Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline at our new location. Listen to what it is, Duke's Rib House and Grill, 1910 Cochran Road, Pittsburgh 15220. If you hit the Green Tree exit, go straight down Green Tree Road, make the left, look for Max and Irma's. We're right here. We got a large crowd at the bar. They're anticipating the Steeler game and the Steeler win. So we'll talk about that. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. This is Zach Brenner. In case you want to know, Smoking Jim Frazier is not late. He couldn't make it. He has season tickets. He's predicting a huge win for the Steelers tonight, and we'll get into that in a little bit ourselves. We always start out with what's on our mind, but before we do that, I wanted to thank everybody for all the Facebook likes. 3,493 before I left home, so thank you very much. Appreciate it. Watch us on Verizon 32 everywhere in the Pittsburgh area. Yes, the city of Pittsburgh. Yes, the suburbs. Even in Green Tree and Mount Lebanon here on Verizon 32. Comcast 7 is only in Bethel Park. We appreciate everybody watching it. And we're going to start our show with what's on our mind.
Well, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. Feels good to be at Duke's Rib House and Grill tonight. You obviously know the address memorized. The Talking Machine is good on that kind of PR stuff. Wink, wink.
1910 Cochran Road.
We'll carry that over from Sips. Now let's get into what's on my mind tonight, folks. A couple things that are on my mind. I'll limit it to a few, like my other co-hosts do. First thing that's on my mind tonight is a lot of talk about why the Seattle Seahawks traded Percy Harvin to the New York Jets. Well, it just came down to dollars and cents, folks. Percy Harvin was making $14 million this season. He's only played 8 games over the last 2 seasons, so he's due another $10 million next year. So by trading him to the Jets, they only have to pay him $4 million this year, so they saved $20 million. So that's a no-brainer. I didn't have to go to CMU for economics, Levine.
I like it.
Shout out to CMU, even though I love Pitt. But the second thing that's on my mind, obviously, tonight is Monday night. The Pittsburgh Steelers are having a big game tonight against the Houston Texans at Heinz Field. I got stuck in some of the traffic, so I predict a packed house tonight on the North Shore. It's on the big stage. I look for the Steelers to win 31-24, and that's what's on my mind tonight, folks.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Zach Brenner. I appreciate it. I also want to thank, again, Duke's Rib House and Grill for having us here. I mean, it's a crazy night with the Steeler game. I've had a few cancellations with guests. They're at Steeler parties. Look, Smoking Jim's missing it too. He's at a Steeler game only because he has season tickets. And he might have some sweetie with him, but we don't know. What I wanted to show, you know, I always do some fundraising and things. I'd like to put this out here. I don't know if that helps you. This is the first annual Zombie Walk in Bethel Park. You can register up to the day of the event. That's on Saturday from 3 o'clock to 5 p.m. It's only $10. There's prizes for the best costumes. I'll read this since Smoking Jim gets a kick out of me reading. I'm going to dress up like Al Levine, the Talking Machine. Because in normal life, I'm not like this. My hair, I don't have hair like that, and you know, certain things. I don't wear a polo shirt. But this is at Bethel Park High School. You might want to tell your people from Munhall and Homestead, I know they're watching, get JB. He did a great thing on the show with boxing. All of a sudden, he ripped his shirt off. I mean, that's going all over the internet. I think it's going viral on that boxing. We're up to like 60-some watches.
If you got it, flaunt it.
Exactly. So there'll be a walk there. There's a costume contest, like I said, light refreshments, and make a check out to the Bethel Park Community Foundation. And this will be a great event. They're starting it for the first time. And with the way I like Walking Dead and everything else, there's a lot of zombies just around, but it's on TV also. So make sure you dress up. Come on out. There's a rumor that Al Levine, the Talking Machine, may be doing some MC work there. So I look forward to it.
The Amish assassin just found out about it, so.
Well, it's Saturday, and you told me not to contact you for anything that's before 7 o'clock. And you did make it here with 15 minutes to start the show. So you held your word, and I kept my word. So we'll work about Saturday, and they're not going to delay it till 7 o'clock, just so you know. And you're more than welcome there.
Wouldn't it be more fitting to have a zombie walk in the dark?
Well, you have kids and parents, and it does get dark a little earlier, so they don't want anybody getting scared like some of these costumes will be. So
it's a non-scary zombie walk.
Well, no. There'll be people that are scared. Like, you'll probably be scared at some of the kids there, and maybe some of the animals that dress up that are wandering around.
I'll be terrified.
I know how you are. I heard you don't really like the pets, and that's what people are going to bring around and dress them up. Just see Erin Ward with her pups.
So it's a pet zombie walk?
No, I'm just adding that in for some conversation.
All right.
I'm trying to get some interest out here in Bethel Park when they put the show up. So, but what's on my mind?
What is on your mind?
Well, Steelers are on my mind. You know, they haven't lost a Monday night football game at home since 1992.
Whew. No, I did not know that.
Well, that's why I'm here. They have not ever lost a Monday night football game at Heinz Field since 2001, of course. So imagine that. And that's why they're 3.5-point favorites. I don't condone betting, but why do they have morning lines and why do they have odds?
Even last night, Chris Collinsworth even touched note on that they were a 7-point underdog on the game last night, the San Francisco 49ers. So that's on national TV. That's on NBC. So he even said that they were a 7-point underdog.
Well, my thing is if Las Vegas is involved with it, the NFL and college don't mind it, and the announcers talk about it. I think they're talking about gambling. So I do my little disclaimer. If you don't bet, don't start.
But you don't think by having those lines that puts more interest in the game, and it's to the benefit of the networks, because there's more viewers and the Nielsen ratings, and more people are tuning in to watch these games because they got money on them and there's importance to them, not just because they're a fan.
Well, since I brought some of it up, we'll just have like a little conversation here. My thing is you have fantasy football. That creates a lot of interest for the people that don't bet.
Well, fantasy football just came about in the last several years. I mean, it's been around, but it just became popular. But I'm just talking about,
well, for people that don't want to bet on that, but they have their other sports leagues that they do bet.
And there's prizes and awards.
Well, exactly. So, I mean,
it's a different form of gambling.
Exactly. And that's part of my point, that we're bombarded with gambling on sports. And yes, it does make, inroads to people being excited about it. They want to hear about it, just like injury reports. What's an injury report matter if you're not betting on a game? Or you don't have a fantasy sport? This wasn't supposed to be about gambling, but if you watched our show a few times, when I allow an interruption on what's on my mind, it could go anywhere. And it has. I don't mind.
Back to the 3.5-point favorites. The Steelers haven't lost in 15 years at Heinz Field on Monday night. What else is on your mind?
Well, what else is on my mind is you have the Penguins. They were also doing very well with their games, so I appreciate that. And the main thing on my mind, because it's World Series time.
Is it?
Yes. You don't know World Series. Baseball? Well, we were supposed to usually end by October, but you could see they didn't. It's the middle of October, right? It's only 7 games, so hopefully we'll get done before November. But it is baseball season. I'm all in on Kansas City. I think they're the Cinderella team, and they're going to do it. If you look at the stats, the bullpens are so close. You got San Francisco has a 2.18 ERA for all the games that they've played. They played 10 games. You have Kansas City
lost a game yet?
No, I was just getting to that. 8-0, earned run average of 2.89, so that's pretty good. The bullpen, which is phenomenal, you would think 1.80 would be a great earned run average for Kansas City's bullpen. Guess what? San Francisco has 1.78 ERA. So, I mean, imagine that.
Who's going to get the start? Bumgarner for the...
Yes, and that may be the first game that Kansas City loses, but have no fear, they'll win the next 4 out of 5.
Well, let me be the first one real quick to say that it feels better that the Pirates got beat by a team that's advanced to the World Series in the San Francisco Giants. So that cushions the blow just a tad. But I had a thought today while I was shoveling, Levine, and the thought is that until the Steelers are officially eliminated from playoff contention, it's not cool to be a Penguins fan. You know what I mean? Like, the team that you need to support is in Heinz Field. that's playing tonight.
Oh,
you know, there's like how many games in a hockey season?
82.
There's 82 games in hockey. There's 16 games in the regular season. Half of those games are played at home, so that even cuts down on it.
41 games.
That cuts down on it for me. I'm talking about the Steelers though. 16.
8.
So there's going to be 8. There's 8 home games. So to me, there's no reason to pay attention to the Penguins until the Steelers are eliminated from the playoffs.
This is our extended What's on Our Mind. You just hit a hot spot with me. What are you supposed to do when your team lost 2 in a row or whatever and they suck, and you're watching the Penguins and they're exciting? They got nice young players. They're scoring goals. They're getting the puck out of there, and they're playing some defense.
They're playing some defense? Well, let's allude on to the penalty killing then for the Penguins.
It's terrible.
I
knew I'd pull it out of him. For all you people that watch the show, he's too easy tonight. He must have been digging and shoveling a lot of whatever, but he's here, so he's just not shoveling that stuff here. And I knew he was a hockey fan because the penalty kill is just terrible. They may not have even have one at this point in time, since we're talking some Penguins.
When you lose those kind of grinder players that they let go and don't replace them, now you see how important some of those guys were to the penalty kill as opposed to the guys they brought in now. So, I mean, it should get better. I think it's 30th. They're number 1 in power play, but they're number 30 in penalty kill.
Well,
and that's what cost them the game the other night.
There.
That's what cost them the game the other night against Dallas at home, was the fact that they were winning 3-2 with 3 minutes to play, got a penalty. Dallas scores a quick goal on the power play, and then Dallas scores again before the end. And Dallas just stole one from us pretty much.
Well, we gave it away is what I say. I think it was a giveaway by the Penguins, and that's
I
part
say
of
stole,
it.
You say giveaway.
Tomato.
Tomato.
Mona V, Mona something. I don't know. Mona Lisa.
I could use one of those right now.
He has them. Only for you, a special price. Well, Mario Tempest is here. We'll have him up in a little bit. But I just wanted to carry on with some of the great sports that we have. How lucky are we to be in a city that has teams like this? Then you got Pitt basketball and everything else, and you got
Pitt football, big win over Virginia Tech.
Exactly.
At Heinz Field also, so that kind of set the stage, hopefully, for the Steelers to carry that over tonight.
I don't know. Do you think it works, or is it just the streak that we've had since 1992, and we're 3.5-point favorites?
They do practice and train in the same facility, though, so maybe a little bit of that magic rubs off tonight. I look for the Steelers just need to find a balance and an identity right now. The defense pretty much is what it is, but we have a lot of top draft picks invested on that offensive line. A lot of talent on the wide receivers, one of the number 1 running backs in the league, one of the number 1 quarterbacks in the league. So I don't understand what Todd Haley's problem is, why he doesn't just let it rip and let Ben be Ben or let whoever be whoever, But if you have to throw, 20 under routes to Antonio Brown to win the game, whatever it takes to win the game is basically what I'm all for. And I don't care what combination
Haley was hired, as you know, because Art Rooney Jr. wanted to protect Ben. Well, Ben's healthy now, and we're losing.
And he's still getting sacked a lot.
Exactly, and, some are his fault, like he says, and everything else. But part of the problem is Haley ran 15 running plays to try to show domination. We got 3 points out of it. That's usually not a good sign. Then, here's a stat, since I'm throwing stats at you. Haley calls 73% of the plays, even if they're in a no huddle. That means Ben's only calling 27% of the plays. It should be the opposite because we're doing no huddle, speeding it up. But when you're rebuilding like they've done for 3 years, when you have Todd Haley in charge, I'm not saying throw him under the bus. Players are dropping the ball, they're not catching the passes and things like that too. So maybe he has a couple good plays, but there's something wrong.
You ready for some good news?
Yes.
Ike Taylor is almost ready to be back. And it's rumored that they're just going to give Ike Taylor 2 bricks and tape them to his hands anyways and tape him up because Stone Hands doesn't catch the ball anyways. But he's still more serviceable than William Gay, so I can't wait to get Ike back.
How will I notice the difference? He has brick hands already. If he tapes bricks to him, that's redundant, they call. So, whatever. And he slowed down. He'll lose 2 steps now. Hey, we're going to stop what's on our mind right now, and then we're going to start bringing up our guests. Mario Tempest, welcome to our traveling show of Pittsburgh Sportsline on location, now residing for 2 weeks in a row at Duke's Rib House and Grill, 1910 Cochrane Road, 15220, and you can Google that, and you can MapQuest it, whatever you do, GPS it. Welcome aboard. Thanks for making it early, too.
Thank you. It's a beautiful place. I've never been here before. I live on the other side of the city, and I don't, excuse me, get out here that much. But it's a beautiful place. Real
Mario,
nice.
I've been coming here for years. I didn't want to say earlier, but my dad, this was his favorite place. And I don't know if you remember Pat Carmack, his buddy, the coach of Langley, the older gentleman that I said was like our 82-year-old guest.
Yeah.
I knew if I kept reaching there because you're a good guy on sports. Well, him and my dad used to come here and hang out. They'd ask me to come down here. Well, Bruce Gradkowski's son, young Bruce, was playing for Tampa.
Right.
So the only place we could watch the games when he was away or home was here. So we were here many a time when he started all those games and had a lot of great fun. A lot of friends of mine frequent the place. So I have fond memories with my dad coming here. And the food's great. I'm sure you already sampled a little bit.
Yeah, I had some wonderful chicken wings.
Here, you could hold this because I'm not sure. We got you in the corner here.
Erin was a little jealous because she was smelling my garlic parmesan wings and butter ranch.
It's not like an Italian not to share, Mario.
Well, when there's garlic involved, they don't get shared. I'm going to keep away the vampires.
And if you missed his name, introduce yourself.
I'm Mario Tempest. I represent Mona V / Mint Products, all natural. Actually, it's the.
Hey, do you have a sign here?
I'm glad you asked, Alan. It's the unveiling of my new sign that I'm going to have at the Pittsburgh Ice Arena in Lower Borough
How
this
about
weekend.
we'll cover up this talking
Cover
machine
up
here.
the talking machine.
Because I got co-hosts that don't like seeing that talking machine. Now we can't see Zach.
That's
or
cool.
myself.
And I'm a
perfect.
team player.
Can't
I'm a
see
team
Look,
player.
I took
Can't
it.
see the two hosts. It's perfect.
I'm a
Everything
team
looks good
player.
now.
I took it.
Looks real good.
I took
All right,
a
let's set it down.
bullet for that.
There's going to be youth teams from all over the United States at this tournament.
Where is this tournament at?
It's at Pittsburgh Ice Arena in Lower Borough, towards New
Isn't
Kensington.
that John?
John Graziani
Yeah.
was here. He was one of the guests.
And when is this, Mario?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to be drinking lots of energy drinks
Wow.
because I'll probably be there at 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. And be
They're
there.
healthy too.
They're healthy. They're all natural.
No jitters.
No jitters, no shakes.
I need some green tea.
I was passing them out tonight. Sorry, Zach. I gave all my samples away. Everybody that
good.
works here had a can.
He is one of the greatest networkers. Not only he starts something, I want to be the first to say there could be, what are they called, Duke bombs or something.
Yeah, instead of a Jaeger bomb, I'm suggesting Duke bombs here with my product in instead of Jaeger.
And I saw people drinking a few up there.
Yeah, they were already mixing them up. Yeah,
Wow.
heck yeah.
You know, that's what you get at Pittsburgh Sportsline. You get networking, business ideas, plus a lot of great sports talk. Don't forget this weekend at Mario with, where are you going again? Tell us again.
Pittsburgh Ice Arena, Lower Borough, Pennsylvania.
So it's hockey.
It's
a hockey
hockey,
tournament.
yeah.
Age? What ages?
I believe it's 11 to 14, I believe.
That's what he was telling
I
us.
believe
And
so, yeah.
they're afraid of Bethel Park. So all of our friends from Bethel Park in the community on Comcast 7, Verizon 32, go up there.
Stop at my booth.
Well-
Say hi and sample some wonderful product and buy it for your youth so they don't buy the other stuff. It's not good for you.
Okay,
Not
there
good
we
for
go.
you. And I'm here to make a special announcement from now through the 25th, which is Saturday. Anything in our Mint line, which is our new 2 energy drinks, and our health shakes, all shipping charges are dropped until further notice. And anybody
Wow.
that starts getting it delivered this week, so shipping charges are dropped until further notice.
Send a case to Brenner Contracting. Just send one there.
Now's
Free
the
shipping,
time,
I
Zach.
took care of you.
Now's the time, Zach.
We got special Pittsburgh Sportsline discounts. Free shipping with that.
It's a.
You get a multi-can discount too.
Absolutely, that's what that is. And you can do that by, Alan, you can ask me what my phone number is because you're bad with your memory.
Well, yeah, I forget what it is. You've only
Yeah.
told me 8,432 times.
412-417-7301. That's 412-417-7301. call Nell, save some big bucks, and get some really good product in your body.
That sounds good. Hey, let's talk some sports with you.
Absolutely.
Because I know you're a huge fan of the Penguins, the Steelers. Matter of fact, I noticed the nice hoodie you have.
Die-hard Steelers fan right here, baby.
We don't see that too often.
Gold. I bleed gold.
Okay.
Bleed gold. Absolutely.
I like it. I bleed black and gold.
Yeah.
I got blood trouble.
You got blood.
I
you
need
like
a
the Pirates.
transfusion. Well, yeah. How could you not? You
Yeah.
know, 35 years ago this week,
Maz.
no, we're not going that far
Oh,
back.
okay. Oh, 35 years ago.
35 years ago, We Are Family, 1979.
Who, Pop Stargell?
Yeah, and the boys. So they won it then. And then the anniversary of Bill Mazeroski, you know, he hit that walk-off homer, the first one ever in baseball, when Yogi Berra is watching it go over the left field wall, and you thought Yogi Berra was a catcher. That was a short guy, bow legs, standing out in left field, looking at the ivy. This is some history that you don't know.
He thought Yogi Berra was a cartoon.
Right. I thought it was
Yogi
just
the Bear.
Yogi Bear. That's what I thought back then. But this is some of the baseball history that some of us grew up with. And I know you don't have a long history of baseball, only 2 years of winning records that you can actually recall.
Yeah, I was very fortunate. By the time I graduated high school, the Pirates won 2 World Series and 4 Super Bowls all before I graduated high school.
Well, I'm a huge Homestead Grays fan.
You don't even know who played for him. Name a player. And there's banners on the bridge. See, I'm a debunker.
Satchel Paige.
Well, he was here 1 year, but that was it. He played a lot.
That's cool. He played for the Crawfords.
Well, they changed teams a lot because they combined
Josh
teams when they were
Gibson.
playing. There
There
you
you
go.
go. All right, he's
I
all
knew
right.
you'd come back. Here's why.
I just had to think
I've
about
been in the
meeting him.
truck with him, and he'll go, "Oh, there's Josh Gibson," and there's all these somebody named Bell and whatever else that was back
Papa
then.
Bell, cool Papa
Yep,
Bell,
cool
right?
Papa
Yeah.
Bell.
He was the guy that actually could turn the light switch off and go into bed
Before the lights went out.
before the lights went out.
That's right. That's a fact.
Yeah, these are you
He
can't
was that
make up
quick.
this stuff.
No, you can't.
And that was without any energy drinks.
Well, the Grays play at Westfield, and that's right in my backyard. So,
I know that. Your mother can look right at the field, right?
yep.
Definitely.
That's a little bit of history
That's
there
awesome,
for you
awesome
folks.
history.
I'm glad he could come back because I know he's grown up with. How do you not grow up with history in Homestead, Munhall,
Nope, you don't.
sports, steel,
Charlie Batch,
Steelers?
Chuck.
Goes on and
Yeah,
on.
nobody even said that yet. You beat him to the punch.
old Chuck.
We weren't talking football. That's because it was baseball.
Yeah,
Speak-
baseball.
Speaking of football tonight, you know,
What's
I'm
your
still,
thought?
They have to. If they don't break out of it offensively in the red zone tonight, then we can kiss the season goodbye. Because if they don't
Well,
score
they're
in the
only
red zone,
26% scoring TDs in the red zone, which is terrible.
it's terrible. Even though I posted on Facebook, what makes me give a little bit of hope is the fact that between the 2 teams in Ohio this weekend, they only scored 6 points.
Yeah, one was shut out.
One was shut out, and then the Browns only scored 6 points against the Jaguars. How do they say it? The correct
Whatever you
way?
wanna say.
I call it Jaguars because
Yeah.
we're from Pittsburgh. We're
Jaguars.
loud.
Jaguars.
Yeah, but
Jaguars.
that's the only thing that gives us hope, really, because at this point, 8-8 is great.
Oh, I
that for
thought
Jim.
I wouldn't
No.
hear it
We'll give that for
tonight.
Jim. I mean,
Smoking Jim will be watching this.
Wasn't
so
me.
I'll give a shout out.
Yeah.
The Steelers don't want to be great. They just want to
want to
be
be 8-8,
8-8.
and that could happen for the division. That's a scary part because it's bad. Division's bad.
Yeah.
I really
Well,
thought
maybe we could win a Super Bowl going 7-9.
we've done it as a wild card team before, so
Yeah.
why
True
not?
story.
Yeah.
It's more history.
First ever. First
Yeah.
ever wild card team to win a Super Bowl.
That's what I'm trying to conjure up good karma.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to win tonight. By the time they watch this show, it'll already be done. We'll see the Steelers win. I don't care if it's 1 point, 4 points, 3 points, whatever it may be.
It'd be nice to win, convincingly. That just to because our bye week isn't until November, so we get the Colts are coming in next week, so it'd be nice to dispatch Houston in style tonight. Send Coach O'Brien back to Texas, reeling, and get ready for the Colts because
I want to send
the
JJ.
Colts are nice.
Yeah, send
Colts are
JJ
looking good.
Watt back with reeling
Hey,
there.
let's give a shout out to Smoking Jim Fraser's favorite coach, Bruce, the genius,
Genius.
Arians.
Arians.
He has those Arizona Cardinals in a position they haven't been since the '60s.
Exactly.
So 5-1.
Wow, you got a spotlight on you.
I love it.
Who would think? Zach Brenner's in the spotlight.
What are you gonna do?
Aaron Ward's happy because we got proper lighting without her lighting that she didn't bring. She works so hard during the day, she barely gets home in time to get her car, pat her pooches on the head, and see you later. Hopefully you fed them. Devin Shea's here. He come in.
Yes, Devin said. We know whenever we don't have the likes of Aaron or Devin or what do you call them?
Devin Ward.
Devin Ward.
That's the combo
Aaron
team.
Shea?
No, I never said Aaron Shea because you can't. You just can't say that. It's not
too
going to
late. You
happen.
already said
Yeah, but that doesn't count. You're just making up nonsense now. We're trying to get back to sports. They're showing a lot of black and gold prime time here, so you got to come out. You got to come out to this great place. Next week we'll be here again at the Duke's Rib House and Grill, and that's with an E at the end of grill. So
That's right.
it's a great place. They got a lot of TV screens. They got memorabilia here. I heard they actually got a couple new screens that are actually from Sips Sports Bar that may be coming out. So you may see another one or two on the wall around here. But you can see as you come in, when you go to the upper level, Zach, they got screens all across. Where we're at, all the way across. There's TVs everywhere. So they usually have 3-4 different games going on, and you can see all of that stuff. So
Nice place.
Just a great venue. Anything else you want to bring up there, Mr. Mona V?
Let's see the Penguins. I'm sorry, Zach. You have to split it. Like you said, there's there's only
5 to
16
1
games,
ratio
but
here.
they only play once a week. You give me attention on Sunday, Monday through Saturday is all Penguins. Why pay attention to the Steelers on Monday through Saturday?
I get pumped up for high school football. I get pumped up for college football, and then I get pumped up for
I
the
got to
Steelers.
bring up on high school
Let
football.
me
I
guess.
normally
Let me
get
guess, Gateway.
No, not Gateway. You won't believe this one. Zach Brenner and I were out, and he goes, "Hey, would you like to see Steel Valley?" And I'm like, "No, not really, but let's go." So I didn't have a
say
choice.
that. He didn't have a choice, and he didn't say that.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that was what he was thinking, but he didn't say that till right now.
And then, lo and behold, we go through 5 different yards. He's like, close gates. I left them open because it's a strange neighborhood. He's like, what about the dogs? I go, that way they can get out.
Who let the dogs out?
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
here I am walking to the stadium, beautiful stadium, nice artificial turf. He goes, did you look at the score? Sorry, KO, all you alumni. I get there, it's 33-7
Already.
with about 8-9 minutes to go in the half. And he goes, boy, is this great. I go, this sucks. So luckily, one of my friends, Coach Sig, is on the sidelines
how'd
coaching.
you get on the field, Levine?
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on TV, but Zach Brenner owns that town. He said, Levine, talking machine, do your thing. Just try not to get in trouble, but you're in. We walked from all around the field. Elaine Volpe, who did the first interviews with the talking machine with Joanne Forrester, she was up in the stands because her son plays for Keystone Oaks. So she had sent me a message on Facebook, and with this, I didn't get it till I got home.
Dumb phone.
Yeah, after Brenner said, "Get out of here, because we're kicking your butts. You're crying and everything," and then that was it. We had
I
a
wanted
great
to
time.
leave.
No, the boy hung out to halftime, and they were only losing 36-7. Then Brenner goes to me later on. It's 50-7. He doesn't mind rubbing salt into a wound, and what an experience to be with Brenner on the field. And he knew everybody.
But what I was not telling you is that was after the great interview with Rod Solka in California, PA, followed by the great Chinese dinner in Clairton. And then on the way home from the Chinese dinner at Clairton is when we got to see KO getting whooped by Still Valley. So it was a great night.
It was 2 out of 3 for me.
Yeah.
That was great. My co-host Zach Brenner finally got to do an interview. Rave reviews on it. He was with champion Rod Solka talking about his November 14th fight. I didn't want to steal your thunder because it's yours. I told you. Luckily, I only did a little promo at the end because he goes, I got to feed that big ego so then you don't interview, Rod. And it worked because I didn't even butt in once. So, and it's a great interview. Check it out. Little Z interviewing Rod Solka. We were at one of the greatest gyms in the country. Where is it at?
Cool Center, PA.
Near California. We weren't lost. I'm like smoking Jim Frazier, where I traveled on Route 88. We got lost on it, and he took the turnpike, 43.
Right.
No problem.
Nope.
And
no
we made
problem.
it. Rod was a gracious host, you know, and it was just great going. Buzzy's fantastic. You have to watch the video just for the memorabilia, the posters that he has,
The
gym that he
stories
has.
that he told us.
Well, we couldn't put them all on
Nope.
air because he wouldn't go on TV, but some are very good and others are better. So he would be a great interview if we could get him to sit down. And not only does he train them, he feeds them, controls their food, has them going out chasing turkeys around and deer. So they're trying to go out there and stay in shape. There's wildlife everywhere. He has a boxing ring outside, and it's just fantastic. His son-in-law is a great artist, and he made like a paper mache thing with Buzz, like throwing a hook or a right, whatever he's throwing, a left and
There's
a right
a ring
combination.
inside. There's a ring outside. This place is like a fighter's barracks. You know, these fighters stay there. They train there. And right
You know
now,
what? He should travel. I just got a revelation. He should travel and take some Mona V out there.
he should.
Actually,
you
I
need
was in California today, believe it or not.
PA.
You need to get a
right, by
hold
the,
of.
right by the college, yeah.
You need
This
to
is
get
only
a hold
about 10
of.
away.
You know, Stevie Upshur, Rod Solka. Right now, you know, Buzz Gardner got, you know, multiple fighters that have appeared on Showtime in the last few months.
And our show.
And our show.
Yeah.
Well, next road trip, I'm going to go with you. I want to go out there.
Okay. That'd be a plan. Hopefully we won't see KO playing.
And plan on coming with me to when I go to the cage fighters. Let's not forget the cage fighters. We got MMA coming up.
November 14th, is that right?
No, November
26th.
the day before
That's right.
Thanksgiving. We got some
Yeah.
we got some epic battles that are going to take place at the Isoplexus South Point in Washington.
A lot of our friends and MMA fighters will be fighting on the card.
So part of that interview series that me and Alavine have put together, the next stop is going to be Kama, the Death Star Worthy, who trains out of what is that? Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh Fight Club, right out the Parkway.
Right off of the Parkway, and that's going to be big. Greg, a little update on Greg the Lumberjack Rudolph, who also could probably use some Mona V, some all natural stuff. His bicep is coming along, and he's healing up all right. So right now, Pittsburgh Sportsline and Brenner Contracting have some of the biggest names.
Are you getting sick?
In the industry when it comes to fighting, whether it's in a cage, a ring, or an alley.
Well, Brenner Contracting is one of our best sponsors. I don't want to really show the towel because I've had to use it to wipe windows in the morning. Look, oh man, because you know what? It's getting so chilly out that there's a lot of dew on there. I don't know if you can.
Make it a dew
I
bag.
can't wipe my forehead. Oh, I'm not sweating. It's chilly out here.
What I picture with Lavina using that towel is, remember the interesting story from coming back from Atlantic City from going to watch Brutal Brendan Baird fight in the cage?
No, I don't recall anything like that, sir.
Well, let me jog your memory and tell Mario another great story here behind the scenes.
These are all true.
On the way back, was it on the way there or on the way back?
I thought it was on there because we had rain, but you keep saying it was on the way back. So we're
It's
a little
still true.
foggy. No, but wait till you hear what happened. Just tell that story.
So on my personal vehicle, the windshield wipers,
Listen to
the
this.
motor quit working, and Alavine, the talking machine, had to hang out the window and keep pushing them.
In a driving rainstorm. And this was luckily in the summer. He goes, hey, talking machine, or Levine, or whatever. He goes, can you get that windshield wiper to work? I go, yeah, sure. 70 miles an hour in a rainstorm.
On the freeway.
On the freeway, the Jersey Turnpike. I go like this, and it works. He goes, thanks. And it quits. Then he goes, you got to do it again.
About another 200 times.
It was the longest 56-mile trip that I ever
Atlantic
had.
City.
And you know what? That pitching arm.
It was on the way there too, because it
Yeah.
got worse as we got closer to the sea.
That's what I was saying. We had a good argument on it, but I'm glad he come through because my pitching arm hasn't been the same And I didn't want to tell him, that I actually got injured a little bit, but I kept it going. We made it safely.
But when you were talking about that, of you wiping the mirror with my tie, I was thinking like something in like Dumb and Dumber, since the Dumb and Dumber 2 is coming out. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes, I have. It's one
That's
of my
what I
favorites.
Or Ace Ventura, when you're hanging out the window in the rainstorm
I
on the
think
freeway.
more of Ace Ventura with the hair.
He keeps
Doing that
he has to keep
because there's nothing dumb or dumber about what I talk about. So
That's up for debate.
well, it's not a debate. I'm a dictator on this show. Get this sign off of my name there. You'll see that. Thanks to Bob Crescent for the great sign. We appreciate that. Anything you want to close with since we've been running wild
if
on
I
this?
can get back to the high school football.
Yes, you can.
My alma mater, Highlands High School, is now 7-0 in Double A. And they put away Apollo Ridge a couple weeks ago. Who
Saw
has,
that.
three Division I players on their team. Now they're now 7-0. One of the running backs is the first running back in Highlands history that's over 3,000 yards.
Wow.
And for a little bit of trivia out there, the first female to score a point ever on Highlands football team. 3 weeks ago, she kicked an extra point.
Did she?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so they're on a roll. I think hopefully we'll be seeing them at
Well, shout out to them
Stadium.
again there.
Highlands High School. Go get it, Rams.
I hope to see Highlands there along with Clareton's own Bears,
Whoa.
who blew
It'll
away
be nice.
Monessen.
Definitely.
So it's pretty much a two-horse race in single A. It's going to be North Catholic and hopefully Clareton playing down in Hansfield for the right to go to Hershey and represent this side of the state.
Well, they got to play the games,
That's
so
right.
we'll see what happens.
That's right.
Anybody know what Gateway's doing?
I don't know who they are. You have to contact.
Never heard of them.
You want to text? Oh, he didn't. He didn't text me. Let me see if he did. I think he did send one text.
It
Oh, here it is.
Make sure you mention Gateway, it says.
It says, "Good luck at Duke's Rib House and Grill, buddy. Wish I could be there. Instead, I got some sweetie on my arm watching the steel." That
That's
didn't say
not-
that. That didn't say
And that's
that.
not fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac
It's
either.
just facts.
That's fact from Levine. The
Just
talking
the-
machine.
just the facts.
Who's covered up by Mona V right now, and I'm
We're gonna
just
get
loving
him
it.
out of here.
that. Thank you, gentlemen.
Mario, it's always a pleasure.
All right.
Thanks for traveling on location, spreading the good word, and get that
And
sign
bring
out
back
of
the
there.
Bucks. Can't wait
Whoa.
for spring training.
Ooh.
Well, sorry, folks. Sorry about your luck. The only reason why it's Z time right now is because we're here at Duke's and we're just getting this fired up here for the first time this week at this great location. And Al Levine had a bunch of cancellations. I don't ever get a list of who these people are. They cancel on us and don't show up for good reason. But
Well, I don't want to do that because you're a fiery type of guy. I don't want you visiting these people after the show on your way back to the neighborhood. Okay? That's why. I'm protecting the guilty and the innocent.
as I was driving back from Hampton, PA,
Okay?
I was coming through and I was right near Drew's on Dallas over there.
Did you say hi to my
Showcase.
man?
It's Monday, Levine. There's no barbecue on Mondays. So
I understand.
no showcase barbecue on Mondays. But I did stop on Sunday at the Stone Inn on the way home from Bobby Wanton's
Did you? Up in Nemacolin.
up in Nemacolin.
You get a
Farmington,
run there,
PA.
Sonny.
I do all over Western Pennsylvania, but it was good brisket that I had.
Yeah, luckily somebody told you about the brisket, and you're like, why would you get that? Now, thanks for co-signing that. More fact from Al Levine, the talking machine. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I followed your exploits all over the country this weekend. You were up, you were down, you were all around.
We did.
How did you
roofs
get to see any sports
at the end? At the end
Okay.
of my days.
after
It's-
7?
Yep, you know the drill already. Well, the only reason why it's 7 o'clock, folks, is because we work until the sun goes down. And I don't know if anybody knows, but in the fall, the sun goes down earlier.
Yeah, and it's getting earlier every day by about 2 minutes or
So
so.
that just kills production. As soon as the sun goes down, it makes it hard to do manual labor in the dark. So that's what
That's not what your workers tell me. They do it in the dark, it doesn't matter.
So yeah, we did some roofs. We got some plumbing going on, but we try to stay real busy at Brenner Contracting. But just like my company, I love my sports, and you know, I was watching boxing on Saturday night. I got to watch Gennady Golovkin,
GGG.
Triple G, knock out Rubio in the second round. So, you know, I don't get to watch it as often as I like and do as much as I like, but when you're trying to build a contender, that's just what you have to do. Make
I
sacrifices
understand.
and stuff.
That's
so
why we're trying to build a contender here at our new location. Come
That
see
we
us
are.
next week.
that we
Duke's
are.
Rib House and Grill.
And to those guests that cancel, if you cancel 2 or 3 times, you got to see me, not Levine.
You don't have to worry. They don't get another invite.
I already knew that.
Sorry. That's how these things go. And it
How
looked-
about you know something else? Well, before
Go
I
ahead.
forget, let's touch a little bit on Peyton Manning.
I wanted
Peyton
to.
Manning last night broke Brett Favre's,
Record,
all-time
yeah.
touchdown record, and he did it against the 49ers, who, you know, they're not dog food by any
No,
means,
no.
but they
and
sure
shout
looked like
out
it
to
last
Stevie
night.
Upshur. Sorry about that. Yeah, he's a San Francisco fan. Forced me to wear that hat.
That was funny.
Well, we got to do some humorous things. But I was impressed by Peyton Manning. Didn't waste any time getting some touchdowns and
And
throwing.
did you see finally the Emmanuel Sanders first touchdown pass was the result of the back judge like throwing a pick and taking
Yes.
out the
Yes,
taking
I
out the
did.
corner that was covering him? That's the only way Emmanuel Sanders got that
Well,
touchdown.
he's having one heck of a year because all of a sudden he has hands.
Yeah, I noticed that
He
too.
left them. He left them in Pittsburgh. I heard the rumor that was Stonehands Ike. He actually gave him Emmanuel Sanders hands, which he couldn't go over the middle.
And
he
then you
couldn't
hear
catch.
Chris Collinsworth saying that he's a tough guy going over the middle. And
He
I'm
is now.
Now he is, but he wasn't for us.
I think he's a half-inch taller too, because he didn't have the height to catch the balls. He had what was called the alligator arms.
Yep, he had those gator arms.
Yeah, he had gator arms that I hear about, and he had stone hands. I don't think he's dropped a pass this year.
I did not that I saw last night when
And
I
he-
finally got to watch some football.
Anything thrown to him. Matter of fact, we're getting a lot of people coming in the Dukes. I can hear the crowd getting heated up.
I can, right?
Maybe they'll see us down there. Oh, there's another fan coming down. I see that. They're trickling in here. You got to come out here. It's unbelievable. Hey, what happened with NASCAR? A buddy of mine, not you, called me up, and he goes, "Hey, I'm watching Earnhardt." I go, "No, he's been dead for a long time." He goes, "No, Junior's in 5th place." Then I'm talking to him for another 10 minutes. He goes, "He's in 9th place." And then later on in our conversation, he was in 12th. What happened to
And then he
Dale?
got tangled up in a late wreck.
Oh,
that
did he?
pretty
I didn't
much
get the
just-
report.
Yeah, he's out of the chase. He didn't advance. 6-time champion teammate Jimmy Johnson
Yeah.
did not advance either. And I was asked repeatedly because of that if I like this new format that NASCAR has gone to. And
What's
yeah,
your- you do?
I absolutely like it. You know, it makes
It keeps
these
the interest.
chase, you know, making the chase for one, it makes it, you know, the priority just to make it. Then after you make it, it's not just, you know, like you could just hang around. You actually have to do things in
Right.
advance and push yourself. But for Dale Earnhardt Jr., it was a great season. It was one of the best seasons that I could remember in his career in recent memory.
Well, I think it's because you helped bring him good luck in Daytona.
It started in Daytona.
You even brought a tire home.
That
It was
I-
on Pittsburgh Sportsline
It was. Pittsburgh Sportsline has been well represented this year from
with
Brooklyn.
Brenner Contracting.
Brooklyn to Daytona. But in Daytona, you know, we won the biggest one of the season, and it didn't end there. There was plenty of good finishes all year. We
Yeah.
also won in Pocono, so to win 2 races in one season and to have gone and watched the victory in Daytona that started off, and then to see another race in Dover, Delaware towards the end of the year, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that for me. But you know, when you work as hard as I work and you sacrifice what I sacrifice and all the hours that I spend, you should be able to, you know, do things like, you know, go to the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay that I was fortunate enough to bear
Wow.
witness to, the Daytona 500, to go to the Caribbean 4
You're
times.
too young for a
you
bucket
know.
list.
But
Hey, I have a question on sports. Since you're such a hard-working guy, there's always a dispute whether NASCAR drivers are athletes. What's your opinion on that? Are they athletes?
oh, absolutely. The hand-eye coordination, you're strapped in that car for 500 laps. It's hot. You have to steer that car. It's not like the car steers itself. You have to shift it. I mean, there's so much stuff going on that that they're
So when
absolutely
people make
athletes.
fun of you're just making left turns, they really don't know what's going on in the sport.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's not the only. And a couple times a year they go right too. It's called a road course where they actually go left and right. So, there's the haters will hate, but
I've heard that.
let me get your take on what do you think about the Breeders' Cup that's getting ready to take place?
I'm a big fan of the horse racing, as you know, and you just see the consistent winners will come back and win the races. Usually the class, the cream of the crop, they'll come back and win. And you'll see that year after year, because these horses, some of them, they buy them as colts. I don't know if you saw California Chrome that I posted up.
He
was a little foal, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. That when you see these little foals that are so cute, how could they grow into these huge horses that race and win and make millions of dollars and then get stud fees? So I'm all in on California Chrome.
So what's the percentage of horses that don't end up like California Chrome? Is it to the glue factory for them to be?
Well, there's a lot of groups out there because I'm not into this glue factory thing and all the bad talk about it. We have a co-host that says that all the time, and he just says it because he doesn't know any better, and it's funny. But they don't do that. There's Amish around our area that when I had racehorses at the Meadow, they got good homes there, and their kids they do some jogging in the buggies out in their Amish country. We also retired one of our horses to a retirement home where the people there actually got to enjoy Stardy Oak back in the day and see him while he was out there in the fields. And he lived to be like 30 years old. So these horses have long...
That's all that matters.
And with the harness horses, they do a lot of that. With the thoroughbreds, they're getting a lot better on that. And, it's a lot of good stuff because they are animals. They feel pain and they don't need the abuse.
For people that might not be as familiar with horse racing as us, what exactly is the Breeders' Cup to a non-horse racing person?
Well, this is one of the most prestigious races after the Triple Crown. And you'll see it advertised on usually NBC or CBS. I forget which it is this year.
It's NBC.
So it's NBC. And you'll just see the broadcast, and it's usually an all-day affair. And then they'll have the races for the last hour of the day. If you like horses and you want to see the races, it's a great thing. If you don't bet, don't start.
In the Breeders' Cup, will there be racers from the Triple Crown?
Oh, yes. There'll be some champion horses there that are trying to win more races. They might even be the favorites. So just watch the races, enjoy it. I'm not sure of the fields. I haven't studied that tonight, so you got me on, who everybody is. Usually I'll post that on Facebook.
Do they race harnesses in the wintertime? What
I'll give
point
you-
do they stop?
They do not stop racing harness horses. It's all year long.
So we could go to the meadows in the wintertime and watch horses
Yes,
race around.
I remember my horses and friends of my horses racing end of November. They used to end the season then they start. It's an all-weather track. It's a clay limestone combination and sand, and they add water to it and they mix it up, maybe even antifreeze in the wintertime so it doesn't freeze. They're constantly grading it. So you can see races all year round.
That's great.
There may be a day or two off with the holidays because harness horse is big, all around the country, not as big as it used to be. And there's a lot of jobs in the state of Pennsylvania, from feeding the horses, taking care of them, and everything else. Thousands of jobs are there because of harness horses. Think about growing the food for them, the hay, the oats, all the other fields. So there's a lot of business there.
Back to the Steelers here as we wind down our time here at the first edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline at Duke's Rib House and Grill. Can I get a score prediction from you tonight, Levine, on the Steeler game versus the Texans?
The Steelers win 27-24.
Close.
They don't
And
cover.
They're not covering. I was just...
Because I'm not gambling, so be careful out there.
Hey, I don't gamble either. I can't afford to lose.
I
It's my
understand.
motto, so...
And the Steelers will break your heart.
Yeah, and plus, you normally want to bet with your wallet, not your heart anyways,
There's
So
a
that's
tip.
it.
Well, what's your prediction there, little Z?
Well, I believe I stated one earlier, but I'm going to, stick with it. I'm going to go 31-24.
I just wanted to
Steelers.
see if you changed that since you were
No.
pulling me out.
Nope, no change.
No change from the
I
Brenner.
just hope they find some balance. I think the Houston Texans are giving up 400 yards on defense, so they're like J.J. Watt is not the second coming of Lawrence Taylor.
Well,
by any
Clowney might
stretch.
be playing. He was warming up. I saw it before you got here. He was dancing
He's
around
about
and
as
skipping.
tough as Jarvis Jones. So
Okay.
if you know how tough Jarvis Jones is, then you know how tough Clowney is. And he should not have been drafted where he was drafted, but hey, that's an argument for another day and another episode. You know?
Those are some opinions there. You base it on facts, like he hasn't played much
Yeah.
since the first game.
Correct.
He was just collecting paychecks.
Yes.
But I didn't think he's
He
too
probably
slow.
got paid for his autograph while he was in college too. Down
Well,
there in
we'll
the
find
SEC.
out. We'll have to find out. The SEC's pretty strong.
You know, Jameson Winston has 2,000 autographs floating around for authenticity. You know.
Well, look at one of your favorites, Johnny Football.
Hey, Johnny Favorite was one of my favorites till he got drafted by the Cleveland Browns.
I understand. I guess you're a fan of Colt McCoy, who's now going to start the next game.
Colt McCoy.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think where he is. They just said he's going to start. It's his third team he's with, and he's going to start. The coach just come out and said that. Oh, man, I forget. Too much information. You had me going on the horses.
That's a first, folks. That's the
You
first
stumped
time
me.
I stumped Levine, and I
Yeah.
can remember too.
I
A lot of
know.
episodes.
This is an historic event here.
It is.
Hopefully it'll
Can't
come
wait
to
to
me.
get some dinner here at Duke's Rib House and Grill.
Food looks great. The crowd's building up here. They don't know Pittsburgh Sports Line's here yet. We got to get some more promo out there.
What else, real quick? What are your thoughts on Hines Ward and Coach Cowher's criticism of the Steelers?
Here's what it's about.
And Hines Ward referred to the team as we a couple times too.
Here,
So
think about if you have a job and you're only talking about your ex-team. They're not paying you anymore. You don't work for them. Whoever you work for, you better add a little, routine on the team sucks, they're soft, they're not like they used to be. What's that do? It gives them job security where
besides
they're
jobs,
working
what
at.
if they really feel that way though? Because a lot of us feel like them guys are soft.
Well-
and they're speaking for a majority of, especially
Are they being honest?
when we're used to what we're used to.
Right.
The standard is the standard, but I'm talking the before Tomlin standard.
Well, there was a different standard, so 'cause
Yeah,
we
it
all
was
know
a-
that. And
was a
it's
chin.
easy to be critical when you're not in the house deciding what they're doing there. It's very easy to do it. Some of it's obvious. We've talked about it, so I don't mind them talking like that. What I think is it helps us to talk about it, and it stirs up all the people here to talk about it. So it's great publicity for them, right? I even put Hines was talking about Hines.
But like I said, would you dispute that they're speaking for the majority of the Steeler Nation though? When they,
I don't
people
know.
are unhappy with the play calling. People are unhappy with a bunch of things right now, and I just think it's coming to a head.
It may not be the majority, but it's a lot of fans. I know I was a disgruntled Pirate fan for years.
Who?
And I'm a disgruntled Steeler fan because they've been rebuilding. Now I hear they're starting some rookies on defense, and I never thought I'd hear this quote from LeBeau. He's not worried about these young kids being on the defense tonight. He's putting a rookie on the line, defensive end,
From Notre Dame, who's smoking Jim Frazier, our colleague said shouldn't even have been drafted.
and LeBeau's not worried. So what's going on here? He's never played rookies like this before.
I mean,
And you got
yeah,
Shazier.
desperate times call for desperate measures. Who else do they got
Well,
on the depth chart?
What I like is a lot of the other stations, TV and radio, they'll say, what's plan B for LeBeau? Because they say he has a good scheme, but the players aren't performing. Well, if the players aren't performing to whatever standard it would be, it's 8-8 right now, in case anybody knows. So it's not a real high standard. If they're not playing to that standard, then you do have to have a plan B, C, X, Y, Z, everything else to put them in. So maybe this is part of it, so my hat goes off to them.
Well, they're rebuilding, so maybe they're going to try to get some
They
of these
don't
young
say
guys some
that.
looks.
Well, that's
some
what they
snaps.
said. 40 to 50 snaps. 40 to 50. What about having 7 or 8?
And where's that stud linebacker from Ohio State at? He's about as soft as the lineman we drafted from
I don't
Ohio
know. Where'd he
State.
go?
Mike Adams, who's Shazier.
Yeah.
In his first couple games, Smoking Jim Frazier was ready to crown him.
He did, and we said, whoa, hold on.
Yes, I did.
Smoking
Yes,
Jim,
I did.
no offense to our co-host, he does pick out some things that are just unbelievable.
And let's not take anything away from him. Supposedly, he's the brainchild behind the likes of Ike Taylor and Antonio Brown.
That's on the record in the Steeler War Room.
Well, I've never heard anybody in the Steeler War Room back that up. So
I heard a friend of his friend.
In fact,
I heard a friend of his friend tell me that.
We'll run with that from fiction, in fact.
Well, that's why it's Fiction and Fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac every Tuesday, except when he's not there or he's running late. So we'll see what happens.
And then it's Z time.
Yeah, well, just like in case, we got fans of Smoking Jim, and he'll watch us too. He'll critique what we're doing. I know I made a few mistakes, like Smoking Jim's not with one of his sweeties there, because they're texting me right now. Where's Smoking Jim at?
Well, I'm roaring back, Juicy J. You're not the only one with ladies, my friend. So, wink,
whoa.
wink.
I
Hey,
like the wink,
how did
wink.
you
Usually
like
it's
that,
on Tuesday night.
How did you like the turnout on Saturday night at the Sokol Club for the boxing that we took care of?
I'll tell you what, it was one of the best venues, crowds, boxing card from 1 to 13. The only thing bad was J.B. Reagan at the end. That was the only thing. And he knows what I mean in a nice way.
And another thing for fans of Pittsburgh Sportsline to look forward to, we will be doing an exclusive sit-down interview with the Pittsburgh kid, Paul Spadafora, when he returns to Pittsburgh for Rod Sulka's fight on November 14th. So look for that to come, folks.
Definitely. I can't wait to do that. We're still arguing about who's going to get the interview. Maybe I'll get to do one question with Paul since I know him. So he's still on triple secret probation on interviews. It's triple secret now. But I want to thank everybody for watching our show. And I appreciate Aaron Ward and Devin Shea coming out here to our new location. Mario Tempest, he travels anywhere. I don't know how many Mona V drinks he gave out, but
how many does he drink?
I can't even mention that on air because there's a limit on what you're allowed to have. And it's been a pleasure being at Duke's Rib House and Grill. We're going to try some of the food now. They come out to 1910 Cochrane Road, Pittsburgh 15220. Just drive, hit the Green Tree exit if you're on the Parkways or 79, and then just come here. We got the Steeler game coming. Zach Brunner, thanks for being here. Appreciate you filling in a great way. I enjoyed the conversation. You didn't abuse me too much. Well, I handled it, no problem. You only got me on one because you've never been on this long with me before. And that happens. I'm not undefeated, but I'm close. And thanks to Dave Cable for all the great editing and graphics he'll put in here. Nice sign that we have up here. Now you know where we're at. See you next week. We'll be here at 7:30 to 8:30 doing another show here.
I'm on.
Thanks, everybody. Be safe out there. See you next week.